I saw a man in prison and the gates were so solid that if I shook it like that, I shook and not the gate. It's so solid. And he was sweeping his cell. I said to him, are you coming out to come to the church? He says, I'm not allowed to because I wasn't chosen. I wasn't chosen. Chosen? God chooses you just as you are. That's the blessing. That's the gospel. But he said to me these words, and I said, oh, shucks, man. He says, don't worry. I love Jesus Christ. I'm free. A caged bird who's free. And he knew what it's like to have a renovated heart. And so the gospel of God is the greatest event in human history. Paul said these words. He says, I'm obligated to preach the gospel. Why? Because he was captured by God on the road to Damascus, and some wonderful thing happened to him. God spoke to him. Jesus Christ appeared to him on the road to Damascus and changed his whole life. And he heard the voice of God say to him, you are my instrument to preach the gospel to the Gentiles. But not only are you going to be preaching the gospel, you are going to suffer for the gospel. And you know what? That man never changed. And he went through stuff that you and I would never even be able to go through. Lost out at sea. I tell you, that's my worst dream. For you to tell me, Wayne, you got a boat trip to go somewhere on the boat. Hey, I'll tell you something. I'll walk with a boat, with this lifeboat on my back, in case this ship sinks. Then I've got a lifeboat ready made. I'm scared of the sea. But Paul was left out at sea. He was whipped until he was almost dead. He was stoned when they thought they left him there. They stoned him, thinking he's dead. But he gets up and he preaches the gospel because he says, I'm obligated to preach the gospel. Something happened to me that God changed me like never before. I was a zealous Pharisee, righteous in my own eyes, kept the law faultless, he says, kept the law. But when Christ came into my life, he says, I found everything useless. What I gained was useless just to know Jesus Christ, my Savior.